out to be a very important day. Why? Because first we revise day 1 and day 2, thereafter we move on to day 3. So isn't day 3 very, very special? So I always do that. I have this habit of revising day 1 and 2 because day 1 and 2 are most important days, right? There we know what and how uh, we connect with Krishna. And day 3 we would just be adding on to that. So let me make a few co-hosts. Jyotsna Mataji, she's there. Let me make co-host. Do we have Mamta Mataji with us right now? No. Then mm, mm. Let me simultaneously. I will be making co-host. Uh, so co-host, please raise your hand. Kamla Mataji, yes. You can also unmute yourself. Raise your hand, and I will be making co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyone I left? No, I don't see. So Mamta Mataji, whenever she joins, please let me know. And
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
let me just get started with day 1. I would be starting with day 1, right? So yes. Mm, yes. So we are in day 1, right? So Hare Krishna, welcome to day 3. We would be first revising day 1 and day 2. Thereafter, we would be moving on to day 3, right? So let's get started. Let's revise day 1 and day 2 first. So this is understanding Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. So we promised that we would be explaining you Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. Let's see what follows. So it begins with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is no ordinary personality. He says Krishna consciousness, knowing Krishna, and devotional service, doing devotional services onto Krishna. Just a minute, I have to mute everyone. Just a minute. Yeah. Doing devotional services onto Krishna is eternal bliss. So this is unending happiness. If we are doing that, this is unending happiness. We would experience it. This is just the start slide, and trust me, all these 18 days we would be experiencing this more and more, more and more. So it is unending bliss, definitely. But we would not believe it on the word itself. Now, although we should be believing Guru by their word, because whatever they say, that is rule for us, right? Hare Krishna. What is happening? Did we share the right link on the group? Hare Krishna. Everyone, please. Someone, please tell me. You all joined through the link in the group, right?
Prabhuji,
Yes,
we found that the group description.
Group description. So is the link not correct?
Sir, the link is correct, sir.
yeah,
Okay.
it's correct.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. I don't know. Some people, only a few people have joined. I don't think only this many people should be joining.
Prabhuji, they will join, come in, and going.
Okay. 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 Not an issue. Yeah. I just fear that something on my side must not be wrong. So I just fear of that part. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness and doing devotional service onto Krishna is ocean of eternal bliss, unending bliss. Now, Srila Prabhupada is no ordinary personality. Srila Prabhupada started his devotional service right from his birth, very small age, very soon after the birth. Yeah. So, what chat? What is there in the chat? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, please do not chat. Please do not say so many things. Yeah, please do not say so many things, or I would mute the chat. Right? Please do not say. Yeah. Okay, you can't see me. Sorry. Yeah, my video. I did not know. Yeah, sorry. So this was understanding Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. So it started with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada tells us Krishna consciousness and doing devotional service unto Krishna is the ocean of eternal bliss. It is unending happiness. Why doing devotional service and Krishna consciousness? Understanding about Krishna is so important in our lives. We would experience it. We would not just accept it as it is, although we should be accepting the word of the Acharya because whatever he says is final word for us, right? But soon and soon we would agree that he is Acharya. Right now, even before understanding who Srila Prabhupada is, it is difficult to accept him as Acharya, right? But we would accept him. So he is no ordinary personality. He started his devotional services right from his birth and met his guru at 26. And uh, at 70, something impossible happened. He went to America, survived 2 heart attacks. From nothing, he started his congregation, and his congregation grew like anything because he was doing devotional services onto Krishna with all his heart. Krishna supported him in unimaginable way, and he was able to create something unimaginable. The ISKCON society was created just 1 year after he went to America in 1936. Yes, so he published biggest magazine, biggest bestseller magazine back then, Back to Godhead. Yes, and Mm, so this was the timeline of Srila Prabhupada across the globe, and this is Radha Govinda TT, and this is our very special temple president of ISKCON Mangaluru, Namanishta Das Prabhu. His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhu is the person why we are so fortunate to be sitting here. He started this movement. Yes, so Bhagavad Gita, why Bhagavad Gita? It answers all our problem. It is a spiritual dictionary and inspiration. Many famous personality accepted this fact, and they accepted that everything else is waste, right? And we get new meanings from Bhagavad Gita every day. So why ISKCON's Bhagavad Gita? Because there are many Bhagavad Gita, it is coming in the disciplic succession. So disciplic succession matters quite a lot, and we would be able to understand the flow of thoughts in the 18 day that we would be understanding Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna drove the chariot between both the armies, and there Bhagavad Gita was spoken in just 45 minutes, right? So Arjuna is appearing to be bewildered, but it is Krishna's arrangement so that we understand Bhagavad Gita very easily. So every journey begins with a single step, and we would be starting with a very single step, and we would be understanding Bhagavad Gita. So there are 5 topics about Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Ishvara is God, Jiva is controlled, living entity. We are Jiva. Prakriti is material nature. Whatever you see around is Prakriti. Kala is time. Karma. Today we would know what are those karma. I would be asking question on karma, but wait for it for another 5 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, so there are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke 574, Arjuna spoke 84, Sanjay spoke 41, Dhritarashtra spoke the first one. So there are many benefits of Gita hearing Bhagavad Gita. It is all mentioned in the Gita Mahatmya, right? And so Arjun is acting like a cow. Arjun is acting like a calf, and Krishna is milking the cow for us, and we are drinking the milk of Bhagavad Gita. And here also we understand that there is only one worshipable Lord, Lord Sri Krishna. There is only one mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and there is only one devotional service, doing devotional service onto Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So first chapter is Arjuna Vishad Yoga, and Arjuna is crying. Arjuna is appearing bewildered, right? And Dhritarashtra speaks the first shloka, and we also came to know that Dhritarashtra, although spoke the first shloka, he did not understand any word of Bhagavad Gita, anything in Bhagavad Gita, he was not able to understand. So he was asking what is happening, and he wanted to break the family and enjoy the fruits of breaking the family. Duryodhana was not talking to his guru well, uh, he did not, he was insulting his guru. This is not the way to approach your guru. And these counsels were blown, and the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtrayas was broken. As the counsel was blown, the heart of the sons of Dhritarashtra was broken, right? So there were 9 reasons why this war, even before starting, was destined to be win by Arjuna. So it was Dharam Kshetre, divine chariot. Arjuna was sitting on the divine chariot. Kapi's this Dhwaja, in Dhwaja, Kapi was there, Hanuman was there. So he could, Hanuman is given the blessing that wherever he is, there is no loss for sure. Shankhanada, in the last shloka itself, Shankhanad broke the heart of the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. Gandiva, Arjuna is with Gandiv, Tyakta Jivita, the unfortunate words that was is spoken by Duryodhana, right? Moksha Ekadashi, it was very pious day, and Ekadashi itself is very, very auspicious day. And Bhagya Lakshmi and Rishikesh, wherever Rishikesh is, Bhagya Lakshmi would be there, and Rishikesh is the biggest reason why Arjuna was destined. Wherever Krishna would be there, the win is guaranteed. So we can see Arjuna crying. Arjuna gave 5 reasons for not to fight the war. What were the five reasons? First was compassion. Uh, okay. These slides would be available, but please do not disturb right now. There were 5 reasons. First was compassion for his kinsmen. In no enjoyment, Arjuna said that if my own people die on the other side, how would I enjoy? And it would create a sin as well. My family tradition would get broken, because if I kill my own people, how would I be able to meet my ancestors? They would say that you kill your own people. So family tradition would be broken, and he had indecision in his heart. He did not know what to do. So we began chapter 2, and in chapter 2, first we did a revision of this, that Arjuna was just speaking and Krishna was hearing patiently, right? And this chapter 2 starts with Arjuna surrender. Arjuna surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was no ordinary person, right? Sorry. Uh, sorry. Mhm. Just a minute. Yeah. So Arjuna surrendered to none other than Sri Krishna, and he said that I'm not able to understand. My hands are shaking. I do not know what should I be doing, and he is acting all the way. Why? Because if he's acting this way, we would be able to understand Bhagavad Gita in the simplest way, and we would be able to apply it in our own lives, and we would not be facing the same problem that Arjuna was facing that time, right? So he surrendered on to Sri Krishna, and we understood in tough times whom should we approach? We should approach who is powerful, who is all powerful, who has all strength, who has all beauty, who has all knowledge, who has all wealth. It is Sri Krishna, and despite having everything, he's all renunciating. He gives away all the things that he have. He has everything, but he gives away all he has. Right? So we should realize this fact, and we should not talk to Krishna in. We should not understand Krishna in any lower form. Right? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and we should give Krishna that kind of respect. Thereafter, we understood that there are 3 realizations. Like if we do not understand some person well, we tell them at lower understanding. When we know them clearly, we can tell them even our address of the home, right? When we know them very well, we can tell them the address of our home too. So similarly, Krishna, there are three realizations of knowing Krishna. Either we can know him at the lowest realization, which is Brahman realization, which is Krishna is some energy or light. This is not recommended. Again, Paramatma realization, this too is not recommended. This is higher than the Brahman realization. Krishna is the four-handed form. This realization says Krishna is four-handed form. Thereafter, we have Bhagwan realization. Bhagwan realization is Krishna is two-handed form and Krishna is very pleasing. Krishna is Satchidanand. We could connect with this personal form of Krishna very easily. Yeah, so we understood this part too, that from a distance we would not be able to understand Krishna. We should go closer to Krishna by doing devotional service. Not physically, we should be going closer. By doing devotional service, we would be going closer to Krishna, and we would be able to connect easily with Krishna. Yes, now Krishna is refuting whatever Arjuna said. So first point, Krishna said that we are not this body, we are soul. We are not this body, we are soul. And we should be compassionate for the soul. We should not be compassionate for the body. Body is just like a dress. We change it every now and then. Like happiness and sadness are part of life. It is non-permanent, right? But soul is permanent. Soul is permanent. It existed from the start of the time, and it would exist like Krishna, right? Because we are coming from Krishna and we are souls and we are permanent, right? So there is nothing to be feeling sorry about soul. Soul cannot die. Even if you kill, whom would you kill? You would kill the body. You are not killing the soul. For body, the food is this kind of food, right? But for the soul, the food is taking the name of Krishna. We should all take name of Krishna, right? Thereafter, Krishna explained refuted second reason. Second reason was given as no enjoyment. Krishna said there is enjoyment and enjoyment. What are you talking about? There is enjoyment and enjoyment. If you win, you enjoy heaven. If you lose, you enjoy. If you lose, enjoy heaven. If you win, you enjoy the earthly kingdom, right? And if you choose to go out, go away, then your enemy would describe you in many unkind word and they would make fun of you. Would it be possible for you to accept it? No. So you should work with devotion. Yes. So the third reason given was sin, and Krishna refuted by saying devotional activity, there is no sin. There is no sin when you commit yourself to Krishna, and even little service done to Krishna has immense benefit, right? The fourth reason Krishna refuted was by saying, be a role model, don't be a Varna Shankara, good for nothing population, right? If you run away, people would make fun of you, and whatever a leader does, a common man follows. So you should be doing right thing, right? You should not break the family tradition of your and others' family as well. And not be chanting. We are doing revision. We are doing revision for first two chapters, right? Someone who had missed, or it should be very clear in your mind. Yeah, this is review. So the fifth reason that Arjuna gave was indecision. Indecision. Krishna said that you should serve Guru and Lord with determination. You should serve Guru and Lord with determination. If you are serving Guru and Lord with determination, you would do the right thing. Thereafter, we understood that Prahlad Maharaj was doing this devotional service very with high level of concentration. Uh, yeah, we would be starting in another 2 to 3 minutes. Please wait. Yeah. So now there was very important understanding. What was that understanding? That we should not be using our senses for ourselves. For our own enjoyment, if we are using our senses, what would happen if we are using our senses for our own enjoyment? We are bound to fail. We are bound to fall. Although it is fall only, I always say fail and fall. Yeah, we are bound to fall and we are bound to fail. Why? Because it entangles us. Now, what is entangling? What is binding? Today we would know. So we are jumping on to day 3. Today we are on day 3. Yeah, I just added one more slide this morning. Yeah, so there was just one more story that I wanted to convey. Let me see if I have time. Oh ho ho! I am a spoil sport. Yeah. So write on the chat box that how many kind of karma is there. Those who were my students in last batch, they should not be writing. How many types of karma is there? What is karma? Write in the chat box. How many type of karma? One, two, good karma, bad karma. I have never. Sir, please, I have a question. Okay, whatever question you have, you write down in pen and paper. Either you write down in the group or at the end we would be taking up. Two karma. There is good karma and bad karma. Yes, everyone agrees on this. There is two karma. Good karma, bad karma. Good karma, bad karma. Everyone. No, Kirtana, you are being a spoil sport as well. You are my student. Why are you telling, leaking out the story? Yeah, so let me tell you. So, yeah. Everyone knows till now there are two types of karma, right? There are two types of karma. Although I wanted to unmute you, but because I've done revision na, and today we have just 40 minutes and I have to explain two stories. You want to understand the stories in detail na? So you have to give me time. Yeah. So till now, everyone would know that there are two kind of karma, right? Now, no more chat. Till now, we knew that there are two kind of karma, right? The good karma and the bad karma. But I am saying that no. There are not two kind of karma. There are three kind of karma. Three kind of karma. The good karma and bad karma. And let me explain. So we have good karma, we have bad karma, and we have Krishna karma. What is Krishna karma? This is a spiritual work. Yeah. Please do not chat. If you chat, I will resolve. Yeah. Uh, please do not chat. Yeah. So there is good karma, there's bad karma, and there's Krishna karma. What is Krishna karma? Doing devotional service onto Krishna. Now we are sitting here. We are talking about Krishna. Can this work that we are doing right now? Okay. Let me disable the chat for some time. Whenever I would be having question, I would just unmute, rather start enable the chat. Yes. So let's understand. This is very important, and our understanding would broaden after this. So there is good karma. If suppose I am doing some good work, this is good karma. There is bad karma. When I am doing something wrong work, that is bad karma, right? But we are talking about Krishna sitting here. Please excuse. Yeah, we are sitting here. We are talking about Krishna. Now, is this good karma or bad karma? Let me enable the chat. Is this good karma or bad karma? Good karma. Good karma. Good karma. Good karma. Good karma. Purvi says Krishna karma. Neither good nor bad. Good karma. Good karma. Krishna karma. Now some of you are saying Krishna karma. Yeah. Charan says Krishna karma, and Harini says Krishna karma. So is this good karma or bad karma? Now this is not even good karma. This is not even bad karma. This is Krishna karma. Now think of this. We are sitting in a spiritual world. A spiritual world is low, below, right? A spiritual world is low level world. Rather, material world is low level world. Material world. We are sitting in material world right now, right? Material world is low level world, and there is one world which is higher. What is that? A spiritual world. Lower is material, Higher is spiritual. Higher is spiritual. Now we have materialized, material nose, material tongue, material ears, right? But we are sitting here, we are also in material world, right? But can we do spiritual work? We are sitting here talking about Krishna. What is that? That is a spiritual work, right? We are sitting here in material world talking about a spiritual thing. So we are doing spiritual work. What is this spiritual work? This is Krishna karma. Now look at this little child. He is doing devotional service onto Krishna, right? What is this? This is Krishna karma, right? This is Krishna karma. Now this is above good work and bad work. This is above good work and bad work. Now, this is not in this material world. This is a spiritual world. Now, we would know this concept has not been talked about. Krishna says that material world, the lower world, and the spiritual world, which is higher world, both belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the owner of both the world. Krishna owns the material world as well as the spiritual world, right? So whatever happening in material world is governed by Krishna. Whatever happening in the spiritual world is governed by Krishna only, right? So in material world, we have good karma and bad karma, good karma, bad karma. But when we are talking about Krishna, it is Krishna karma. It is higher work, right? This is a spiritual world. So we have, although normally talking, we have just two kind of work, good karma, bad karma. But when we are talking in detail, we have three kind of work, good karma, bad karma, and spiritual work, right? Everyone understood this? Uh, I want to unmute, but some of you please raise your hand and I would be unmuting some of you. Everyone understood this part? Is there any confusion? Surekha, Lakshmi,
Yeah.
Pushti, everyone understood this part? So we have,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
yeah. So we have lower
Yes,
world.
sir.
So we have lower world. In lower world, we have good karma, bad karma. There is higher world. In higher world, what is that? There is spiritual work, which is, I call it Krishna karma. I like to call it Krishna karma, right? Because we can connect with Krishna. I want to take Krishna's name every time, right? So in higher world, it is Krishna karma. In lower world, we have good karma and bad karma, right? So let's understand. Now, in the last chapter itself, at the very end, we were saying that we should not be using our senses for ourselves, right? We should not be using our senses for ourselves. Now, suppose we have Herschel. I'm unmuting Herschel. We have Herschel with us. Now, Herschel sees a lot of TV. He sees TV day and night. What would happen, Herschel, to your eyes?
I will get glasses and my eyes will spoil.
Your eyes would spoil. And what would
Yeah.
happen with your concentration?
Um,
Are you able to concentrate upon your studies when you see a lot of TV?
no.
It happens, na? It is not. It is here. It is written, eyes get damaged and you get distracted from studies. It is true, na? You experience this.
Yeah.
Now we have Ayush. Suppose you are eating. You can unmute. So whoever has answered, please unmute. Ayush is with us. Ayush, suppose you are so you have a very strong this one taste, right? Suppose you like to eat a very tasty food. What do you think? Suppose you are like that. What do you think all the day?
I think like if you eat like unhealthy food, then it'll spoil your health, and you'll be unhealthy.
Yeah. So you would be unhealthy if you eat unhealthy food. But even if you are just thinking about food all the time, na, your mental state is just into food. Your mind is just into food. You are not able to do something. Right now, we are sitting here, right? Suppose in kitchen your mother is preparing some very good food, right? Okay, it is part of life. Someday she would be preparing very, very good food. Someday she would be preparing okay food. Someday she would not be preparing good food, right? It is normal, right? Suppose you feel too strongly about it. What would happen? Would you be able to concentrate here? No, na. Your mind would deviate. Okay, food, food, food. Now, if your taste is so strong, right? If you feel like that I should taste it, then you would not be able to concentrate. And what would happen? It would spoil your health, and you would need medication. Suppose you hear, right? We all, most of us are hearing this music, right? Yesterday I shared one music. I would take the reviews after the class. But here's suppose we hear this music, some Bollywood music, some Hollywood music, some other music, right? Some DJ music, some music, right? We are hearing such music. What would happen? Our mind would get agitated. Our mind would feel disturbed. But similarly, we have heard what I shared yesterday, or I shared at the start of this morning. We shared Krishna Kirtan, right? We shared yesterday morning. Someone was saying, "Where can I get it from?" You can get it from my YouTube channel. It is everywhere. Is every Kirtan would be available there. So whatever I share, I put it there, right? If you want, you can go check it out. Yeah. So uh, when you hear these kirtan, which I played in the morning, which you heard in the evening, or maybe tomorrow, today morning, you might have heard. Now, these kind of kirtan, do they agitate your mind? No, they make your mind really happy. You feel about Krishna, and you become very, very happy. So is that spoiling you? No. But when you hear these material music, what would happen? You play your music. Uh, Harvey Ameya Harvey wants to say something. I could see him raising hand in the video as well. Yeah. So I'm unmuting you. You can say. If you hear this material music, your eardrums would get spoiled. Yes, Harvey.
Uh, I didn't understand anything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can mute yourself. I saw your hand raised, so I thought you have to say something. So what would happen? Your ears would get spoiled, and it takes control over your mind. It distracts you from the studies. You are not able to concentrate. So see, when we are using our senses for ourselves, and how is hearing material music and spiritual music different? Again, think from the same perspective. We have lower world, material world. We have higher world, spiritual world. Now, spiritual world would not do us any bad. Material world would do us bad. The spiritual world does not do, because there is Krishna. Wherever there is Krishna, can they make us any bad? Read what this child is saying. He does not like to read anything except topics related to Krishna. He does not like to eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. He does not like to not wish to go to anywhere if Krishna is not involved. Therefore, his senses are controlled. How should we be controlling ourselves? We should use our senses for Krishna. It is not like we should not be using our nose, but we should be using our nose, our ears, our eyes to dedicate it to Krishna, right? So let's see. Now we all know we have five senses. I'm enabling the chat box now. We have five senses. Write down the five senses, and we have three more. I'm sorry. I have unmuted. No, no. So we have three more senses. Besides five senses, we have three more senses. What are those three senses? Additional three senses. You can write in the chat box. Eyes, nose. Yeah, there are five senses. Ears. tongue, smell. Okay, 5 senses are done. What are 3 other senses? Intelligence, someone wrote intelligence, mind, and the third, mind, intelligence, and mind, intelligence. What is the third sense that I'm talking about? No. I'm not getting answer. No creativity, no soul, no. Someone please answer in the chat box. Love, no. Emotion, no. Clever, no. No, I'm not getting the answer. So we have mind, you have said intelligence, and there is one more thing. Just one more thing. False ego, which comes from self, right? Now, when does false ego arrive? When we have wrong understanding about self, right? I've disabled the chat. So, so we have 5 senses. What are those 5 senses? Eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and touch, skin, right? These are 5 senses. Thereafter, we have 3 higher senses: mind, intelligence, and false ego, right? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Now, now we have to devote all these for Krishna, right? If we are devoting it for Krishna, we would not fall. Last chapter, we saw that when we are devoting it for ourselves, we fall. Now, how do we understand it? Let's understand. But before that, let's understand this very simple understanding. So, there are, again, if you have pen and paper, please note down. There are 3 worlds. There is a concept coming up. There are there are 3 gunas. There are 3 gunas. What are those 3 gunas? Satoguna, mode of goodness. You may write it down. Satoguna equals to mode of goodness. Rajoguna, mode of passion. Tamoguna, mode of ignorance. Tamoguna, mode of ignorance. Rajoguna, mode of passion. Satoguna, mode of goodness. Now, there are many platforms that is talked about here. When we are just thinking about body, that is tamoguna. Tamoguna, lowest, right? Mode of ignorance. When we are thinking about senses, we are in rajoguna, mode of passion. When we are using our mind, it is satoguna, mode of goodness. But there is above something, again, the same concept. There is something above. What is that? A spiritual work. Simple. Yes. So if we are using our mind for intelligent or spiritual understanding, this is higher than even Satoguna. This is connecting with Krishna. Now, if we are connecting with Krishna, this is spiritual work, right? These are above the 3 modes of material nature. Simple, very, very simple, right? Yes. Just a minute. So who wants to chant this shloka? Raise of hand. I'm clearing hands first. Yeah. Raise of hand. Kirtana. Okay. No, Kirtana, you chanted something. Kirtana, please do not unmute yourself. I have unmuted. But please do not unmute yourself. So Shivani. Okay.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणो न्यत्र लो लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गसमाकर.
Samachara. So what is this? Wherever CA would be there, please be cautious. It is not ka, it is cha. Yes. It happens. A mistake happens with me too. But we should try and avoid it. Yeah. So what does this say? Work done as sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. What is it written? You have to understand it clearly. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work cause bondage. What is this bondage? Bondage in this material world. So there are two worlds that we have talked about, material world and spiritual world. Krishna himself would say this. Please wait. Krishna himself would say this in later chapters. But because of your clear understanding, I have explained this through and through. Right? So otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Now, what is this bondage? Uh, we would know of this. Uh, be a little patient on this, right? Yes. So, who wants to chant this one? Lakshmi Lasya.
अनाद्भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यदनासम्भव यज्ञद्भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञकर्मसमुद्भवः.
Yeah, all living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced by rain. Rain are produced by performance of yagna, and yagna is born out of prescribed duty. Now, what does this say? This says that we live on grains. Grains come out because of rain. Now, rain happens because we do yagna, and yagna we do because it is our prescribed duty. Therefore, this cycle is maintained. Okay. Now, whom should we do our sacrifice to? Whom should we do our sacrifice to? Now, there are many Devi Devtas that we could do our sacrifice. But Krishna says this again in Bhagavad Gita. Again, for your easier understanding, I have preponed this. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita that every sacrifice that you are doing comes directly or indirectly to me only. Right? Whatever sacrifice that you may be doing, everything comes to me. Either you could approach to me directly or you could approach to me indirectly, right? If you are doing Devi Devta Puja, then it is doing indirectly. And what is that doing? This is causing material bondage. When you are doing it for fruitive work, you want some result out of it. What is it doing? It is causing bondage, right? What is this bondage? Let's understand. Bondage is entanglement into the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Now, this cycle would be told by, rather explained many times. So, you should note down the cycle is birth, death, old age, and disease. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Now, we have been entangled into this. We take birth, we die, we turn old, and we are all the time diseased. I'm having 2 to 3 diseases right now. Right now my back is paining. Right now I'm feeling feverish. Right? No, nothing related to corona. So yes, we are always entrapped into this cycle. We always have disease. We go old as time passes. We go old, right? And we take birth and we die, right? We always face this problem. This problem is never, we could never come up above that. How can we come up above that? We can come above that if we are devoting ourselves to Krishna. How? Because when we are doing this Krishna karma, when we are doing work in devotion, when we are doing work in devotion, then what it is leading to? It is leading to our upliftment. We go higher and higher in advancement in spiritual world. Now, if we go higher in the spiritual world, we would not be thinking about material world. Krishna would pick us up. Krishna would be requesting us in Bhagavad Gita again and again. We would see that Krishna is very compassionate towards each one of us, and Krishna would request us to come back, please come back. You belong to me, you belong to my place, come back. Like our father, he has been very compassionate, right? So either we can do material work for bondage and entanglement, or we can do devotional work. What is the other work we can do? Devotional work onto Krishna. So there are karma. We are talking about karma, na? Either we can do good or bad karma, which would entangle us, or we can do Krishna karma. We can do spiritual work. It is our choice. We can do good and bad work, or we can do spiritual work. Now, if we are doing a spiritual work, we go to Krishna Loka. If we are doing good and bad work, we get entangled. This is bondage which is happening. Now, why we should be doing this one, spiritual work? Some of us would be feeling that, okay, why not do good karma, get good result, and again do good karma and get good result, right? We can endlessly do good karma and be happy. Is not this true? Is not this true? Yeah, is not this true? Uh, let me unmute some of you. Please raise your hand. Who wants to say? Is not this true? Reddy Prasad, I would not be unmuting. You would leak out. Yeah, I know. Mukesh. Mukesh Padat. Yeah. If we do good
It-
karma, what is the problem?
Um, the problem is maybe you do bad karma.
Okay, we may do bad karma, but we are doing good karma. How we can do bad karma? Mukesh said we may do bad karma. Okay, okay. Yeah, Jaswin.
Um, you
What is the
could
problem? Yeah.
you could not, like, once you die and then you're reborn, you might not remember that you should be
Okay.
doing good karma again.
Okay.
I
But what happens now? Jaswin, what happens? Suppose I do good karma this birth, right? This birth I'm doing good karma. Shivani, I'm not giving you chance. So suppose we are doing good karma this birth, what would happen? Uh, mm, uh, we would get good birth in next life. We would get good birth in next life. Now, if we get good birth in next life, we would again do good karma. What is the problem? So what Mukesh said was true. What Mukesh said was true, that we might not do good karma. Even if we are doing good karma, we might not do good karma. Yes, eventually that is the way good karma works. That even if we do many good karma, na, eventually somewhere we would be entangled. We would be entangled. We would be trapped. Somewhere we would be trapped. Now, let's understand about King Nrega. King Nrega donated as much cows, as much there are stones in this world, right? As much as there are stones in this world. Should I read from that exact words verbatim? Mm, so just a minute. Let me read from. mm, mm, mm. So as much stones were there. He donated so many cows, but he was doing whatever work he was doing. He was doing for mm, getting, yeah, to the brahmanas. I gave so many cows in the charity. As many cows are there. As many cows are there. Of grain of sand on the earth. Grain of sand on the earth, stars, and in the sky, plus the drop of the rain in the monsoon rainstorm. Right? So many cows he gave in charity. Why was he giving charity? He was giving charity only because of one reason. He wanted fruitative result. So I do good karma. I give good charity. I invite Brahmana. I feed them well. Then what would happen? They would give us blessing. When they would give us blessing, we would do even more good karma, and enjoy even more, enjoy even more, enjoy even more. What is the problem? This problem sadly has ending. This cycle has an ending, right? This would not go on till eternity. This would somewhere stop, right? You're doing good, 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 stop. Something bad would happen, and one bad happened. So he gave in charity the same cow to two brahmanas, and they were fighting. They were fighting. King Mriga gave this cow to me, to me, to me, to me. Thereafter, he requested one of the brahmanas, okay, Brahmana, please, I apologize, and please let the other brahmana take this cow. Right now, when he did that, good karma, good karma, good karma he was doing, and he requested, and the other brahmana got offended. The other brahmana said that you don't know how to do charity. You are a sinful person. I would curse you. Thereafter, he cursed, one Brahmana cursed this king Nega. What did he curse? He cursed that you be lizard, in one of the births. So when he went back and he was asked, you have done very good karma. What do you want? You want to enjoy the benefits of whatever good you have done, or you have been cursed, so you want to serve the punishment. So he thought that let me serve the punishment, and thereafter whatever life would be left, I would be living very happily. So for many years he was a lizard, and one day when Krishna's children were playing, they saw the lizard, and out of compassion they wanted that lizard to come out, but that lizard was not coming out. Thereafter they went and told to Krishna. Thereafter Krishna came and touched. In just one touch, in just 1 second, this lizard was liberated. Now King Mriga was thinking, all my life I did good karma. All my life I did good karma, and where did I end? I end up being a lizard. If Krishna came, in just 1 second, Krishna changed me. From being a lizard, Krishna changed me to this good birth, right? In just 1 second. Why do all those good karma and get entangled and get punished someday, right? Because it has an ending to it, right? Someday I would stop. So why do good karma and just because I am doing it for fruitive work, it has an ending. It would not go all till eternity. Thereafter, he became a pure devotee and did devotional services unto Krishna. Yes. So, what do we understand? We understand that in this age of Kali Yuga, there is just one way to deliver. Here it is written, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama hi kevalam, Kalau nasti, iva nasti, iva nasti, iva gatir anyata. So what does this mean? In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So we are living in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy now. There is only one means of deliverance. It is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So there is just one way. What is that way? We should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? If we are getting entangled into good karma and bad karma, na, we would not be able to connect with Krishna, right? So what is more important? It is to connect with Krishna. Or even think about King Nega. Nega did not do any bad thing. He just wanted to enjoy endlessly. There is nothing like enjoyment endlessly. There is, if you go to Krishna Loka, there is happiness endlessly, right? But in material world, enjoyment is not endlessly. It wouldn't, right? So what should we do? We should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this age of Kali Yuga, what is the way to connect with Krishna? What is the way to do devotional service onto Krishna? Now we are talking about Krishna. This too is a devotional service, but what is the best way? What is the best way we could engage? And we should be engaging it regularly. We should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We should chant with our family. We should chant in when we are alone, right? When we are alone, we should be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We should be chanting when we are a family. And there are two things. There are two things. Who would explain me the difference? So there is kirtan and kirtan, right? So what is the difference between the two? What is the difference? Let me ask Sahasra. What is the difference?
Sir, they are doing on the street, so they would be directly doing
Okay.
it. But when
No.
they're doing it in the house, they're seeing the TV, so it would.
No. They are not seeing TV. They are seeing the DTs. So these are DTs. Yeah. Yeah. Hemambika. Anyone else? Kirtana.
So,
Yeah.
so, uh, so they are like they're in the on the streets. They're going to be doing like singing and things like that, and yeah. But in the house, they're only going to be chanting. They're not going to be like singing with rhythm.
They would be singing. They sing in house. There is a strong congregation where they sing. So the fact is that if one person sings, we call it as kirtan. So suppose I start taking name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If I'm doing it, what is it? This is kirtan. When I'm doing it on the streets and every one of us are chanting, we are 50 people and all of us are chanting, this is Sankirtan, right? Together Kirtan. This is Sankirtan, right? So we in the house we do chanting, on the streets we do chanting, and what do we chant? Let's unmute and chant once everyone. I'm unmuting everyone. Let's chant what we all chant, right? What do we chant? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare. How beautiful. Thank you all for chanting. Yeah. Please be muted. Yeah. So what do we chant? What is the way of doing yagna in Kali Yuga? It is chanting the holy names of Krishna. And what should we be chanting? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we should be chanting in our home when alone. We should be chanting with family. We should be chanting on the street. We should be chanting in our house, right? Now, this is one thing we have already known, right? Still, let me give Prerna this chance to fastly chant a shloka. Yeah.
Yes. यद्यद् आचरते श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेव तत्तदेव तरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते.
What does this mean? Whatever action a great man performs, common man follows, and whatever standard he sets by exemplary act, the world pursues. We have seen this. Krishna told us to Arjuna, right? We have seen this. Yes. Um, now we see this leader. He is smoking, right? He is smoking a cigarette. Now, smoking is very bad. Krishna does not recommend this, but still, this is just for example, right? So he is smoking and he's saying that please do not smoke, please do not smoke. Now, followers are laughing. Whatever you are saying, I would not accept. Whatever you are doing, that I would accept. So you are smoking, I too would be smoking, right? It is not like you would be telling something that you are not doing, and I would accept it. I would accept whatever you do, whatever I see you doing, I would accept that only, right? So followers too would be smoking if he is smoking. So what is it? That a leader should be the right person. Who is the right leader that we could connect with? Krishna. He always does the right thing, right? Yes. So again, let me just read because we would be running out of time, and there is one story after this. So if you allow me, I would take another additional 7 to 9 minutes, but if you do not allow me, I would just cut that in short. So the spirit soul is bewildered by the influence of false ego. Now we understood na, we should be surrendering our ego, false ego, to Krishna. In that pic, we talked about 5 senses and 3 more: mind, intelligence, and false ego. The spirit soul is bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinking himself to be the doer. Are we the doer? No. Krishna is giving us power to do, right? Krishna has all strength. Krishna is giving some strength to us, right? Uh, Thinking himself to be the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Now, who owns the three modes of material nature? Again, Krishna would say later in chapter, Krishna would explain that the three modes of material nature, what we talked about, the Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, would be told by Krishna himself in later chapters. Now, what happens due to wrong attitude? What happens due to ahankar? We develop wrong attitude, right? This person is saying, "I am always right." Is this right thing to say? In this material world, we all can go wrong at any point. And this person is saying, "Don't teach me, don't teach me." If he is not getting taught by small things, can he be able to do anything? No. Is he wasting his life? Yes. So what happens due to wrong attitude? What happens due to ahankar? We develop wrong attitude, right? So there is one story. So let me first summarize it in rather 1 or 2 minutes, and thereafter I would explain in detail, right? So this is Bali Maharaj. This story is about Bali Maharaj. Now Bali Maharaj is this he was born in a demonic family. He is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is a very pious devotee of Krishna. He is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And this Bali Maharaj used, one day Vaman Deva came. Vaman Deva is no other than Vishnu. He came and asked for this charity to Bali Maharaj. His guru Shukracharya stopped him, right? He stopped because of his ego, but he surrendered onto Krishna and he was liberated. We did it in 1 minute. Now we would understand in detail, and this would tell us one very beautiful thing, that why we should not be watching TV serials for our spiritual advancement. Now some of us say that I watch so serial, so I want to know about Krishna, and I know about Krishna through that. I would be explaining this from Srila Prabhupada's words, and I would be explaining this from His Holiness Radhanath Swami's words, right? So, Srila Prabhupada first, and Srila Prabhupada says, Bali Maharaj is Mahajana. Mahajana is elevated person, because he wanted to serve Vishnu, disobeying his bona fide spiritual master. Now, he, Bali Maharaj, disobeyed Shukracharya and surrendered unto Krishna. He disobeyed his guru. Is disobeying guru allowed? You should not be disobeying guru. What are you talking about? But disobeying guru is allowed when he is non bona fide, when he is non right guru, right? Suppose I made someone a guru and he turned out to be wrong person. So what should I do? I should reject him. Srila Prabhupada says I should reject him. So let me read again from this pastime, wherein it is mentioned that Shukracharya, as a spiritual master of Bali, taught him that everything should be offered to Vishnu. Shukracharya, this Datya Guru, this is demon Guru, right? He instructed Bali Maharaj that everything should be offered to Vishnu. But when Vishnu came in the form of Vamandeva, he rejected. He, in fact, made Bali Maharaj aware that this is Vamandev. This is Vamandev. Do not offer him anything. He would take away all your things. But Bali Maharaj did not accept his words. Why? Because he taught something else He is speaking something else now, right? Why was Shukracharya taught something and he was speaking something else? Because Shukracharya was a Daitya Guru. Shukracharya was a demon guru only when Bali Maharaj was there. When Bali Maharaj would have surrendered, where would he be? He would not be anywhere. So he was just concerned over by himself. Right? He wanted a good position for himself. And look at how beautifully Srila Prabhupada explains. Bali Maharaj is great grandson of Hiranyakashipu, grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He defeated demigods several times, occupied all the planets. Sometimes the atheistic are some uh, atheists are very charitable. So Bali Maharaj was doing many charities, do pious activity, make charities, do welfare work to the human society. Now, such people who are doing many charities, who are doing many pious activities, they are treated as very high. They are regarded very high. But someone like Bali Maharaj, he thought, why should I bother about God? Why should I bother about God? Such people are demon. Grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, such people are demon like Bali Maharaj. Now, think of this. Wherever you would be seeing TV, wherever you would be seeing, wherever you would have known about Bali Maharaj, the perspective would have been, Bali Maharaj was a very good person who surrendered onto Krishna. No. Krishna made that arrangement that he surrenders. Now, what happened? As Vaman Deva was the son of Kasya Muni, and as the beautiful Brahman Raf came, uh, Bali Maharaj was attracted. Bali Maharaj was attracted towards the austerity of Vaman Deva, and he wanted to offer something. He wanted to offer something to Vaman Deva because of two reasons. One, he regarded himself very high. He regarded himself very high and he wanted to offer. And two, he became very attracted by the by Vaman Deva, right? So thereafter, Bali Maharaj surrendered. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj accepted whatever Vaman Deva wanted to take. Right? Initially, Bali Maharaj never wanted to, but because he got attracted and because he regarded himself so high. Now, what is the learning from this? And this is the difference. When you would be seeing serial, you would get zero learning. When you would be reading scriptures from right authorities, you would get immense learning. First learning, Krishna can make anything come possible. He made Bali Maharaj surrendered onto him in no time. Right? He made Bali Maharaj surrendered onto him in no time. Second, Krishna does menial work, very small work Krishna does. For whom? For the pleasure of the devotees. We all understand these themes from this pastime. So he became Shanti Duta. He became Shanti Duta. He was the king. Why was he required to become a Shanti Duta in Mahabharata? He became Shanti Duta. He was Sarthi of Parth, Arjun's Sarthi, right? He was the chariot driver. He was being kicked in the direction that the chariot was to be moved. So during those times, there was no other signal. The chariot driver used to kick, and there the chariot driver would take. Yes. As Vaman Deva, he was begging. He begged, right? As Vaman Deva, he begged in front of Bali Maharaj. He is the owner of everything. What is the reason? What is the reason that he should be begging? And one more interesting thing, as Bali Maharaj surrendered onto Krishna, right? Because of his transformation of the heart, he surrendered. Vaman Deva accepted to be the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj. Yes, Vaman Deva accepted very small service of being a doorkeeper, right? So Krishna can do menial service. Why did he wanted to be the doorkeeper? Because he wanted Bali Maharaj to be connected with Krishna now, because he surrendered, right? uh, yes, there is one more thing, and this again, this is very interesting, very beautiful. uh, 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 mm, Srila Prabhupada mentions that Shukracharya is Acharya based on the principle of being born in a Brahmin family, not by disciplic succession, but on the right of hereditary, right? Srila Prabhupada mentions that Shukracharya is based upon the birth, not because of his qualification. Krishna does not recommend this. Krishna does not recommend caste system. He recommend based upon the qualities. The division of the society should be based upon the qualities. And we would understand this again in later chapter. This is the third learning. Fourth learning, and I'm driving all these things from this Bali Maharaj pastime only. Fourth learning is we should have bona fide spiritual master. We should have bona fide spiritual master. We should not just have any spiritual master. Fifth thing, Bhagwan does not need money. Bhagwan does not need our money. Bhagwan need that we surrender. So Bali Maharaj, when asked what should I give you, Bali Maharaj said just 3 steps. In first step, he covered higher planet and middle planet. In third step, in first step he covered lower planet and middle planet. In second step, he covered higher planets, and in third step, there was no other place to be keeping his leg. So thereafter, he kept his leg on the head of Bali Maharaj. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj surrendered, right? So Bali Maharaj, this Vaman Deva did not need any money. He does not need any money. Lakshmi belongs to him only, right? He does not need our money. What he needs is complete surrenderance. Doing a small charity and forgetting Krishna is demonic, right? So we need to surrender on to Krishna. This is sixth learning. Seventh learning is Krishna loves his devotees, that he took the smallest service of devotees. He became the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj because of his devotion, and he did not want to leave him because of devotee. Now, Karma Yoga chapter started with bad activities and good activities and Krishna Karma. Look, we all read about good activities and bad activities, and we know what Krishna Karma is, what we know this spiritual work is. I think everyone everyone would agree, everyone would understand this part, that what is more important for us is not good and bad activity. What is more important for us is Krishna Karma. Yeah, I exceeded by around 10 minutes. I'm really sorry, but this pastime itself is something that yeah, we should be talking in very deep detail. Yeah. So if you have any question, let's take the question, and else you should be dropping in the group. I am just enabling the group. Yes, I have enabled the group. And Mamta Mataji is with us. Yes, Mamta Mataji is with us. Okay, sorry, I'm making her co-host. Yeah, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to everyone.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, so just a minute. I'm muting you, Mataji. Please unmute yourself. I'm unmuting children. Yeah. Sharon, do you have any question? You may write in the group too. Sharon, Kirtana. Okay, I'm clearing hands one.
Like Vamandeva put 3 legs, right?
Vamandeva?
Had like put 3 legs on the middle worlds, the upper planets and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, then he only had 2 legs, right? How could he put 3 steps?
So he asked for that he should be given 3 steps. When he asked Bali Maharaj for something, he asked that I just want 3 steps of land. 3 steps of land.
Sir.
Yeah.
That Lord Krishna, how did he got senses, sir?
Yeah, Mataji, how did he got senses?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear that.
How did Krishna get senses?
Who gets senses? Sorry.
Krishna.
How did Krishna get senses?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very simple question. I mean, sorry, very intelligent question, but I couldn't understand the question. Krishna is Rishikesha. He is the master of all the senses. He is the supreme Lord who is who is activating all the senses. He's called Govinda. Govinda means he is the master of all the senses. Go also means senses, and also other meaning of go means cow, but otherwise go also means your senses. So he is the Lord of the senses. He is and his other name is also Rishikesha, means he is the Lord of the senses.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, what does Krishna's name really mean?
All attractive.
What?
All attractive. His name means all attractive.
Oh.
Thank you.
I have another doubt. What's the name of Krishna? Other name?
We have.
What's the another name of Krishna?
Krishna has many names. He has been called, Vasudeva, Govinda, and Damodara, and Madhava, and devotees call him with several names. There are I could call 1 million names. Vishnu.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many
There are endless.
Krishna? Why does Krishna have blue color?
Krishna is very blue color because that's his favorite. He wants to be blue.
So,
How did Krishna got upon his peacock feather?
Yes, this also symbolizes renunciation. Having Krishna having a peacock feather shows that he's so renounced. Although he is all attractive and he has all wealth, and also he is so rich. He is the most richest, and he is the most opulent. Even though he has so much opulence, he's not bedecked with a crown, which is he's not bedecked with any jewel crown. Rather, to show his renunciation and also to show he's so simple, he wears a peacock feather,
Hare
which is
Krishna.
so beautiful.
Is Mataji's voice coming?
That's why it's so good.
Sorry?
That's why it's so good. It's so pretty.
Yes, he's so pretty. He's all attractive.
Yes, it's all attractive.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Where is Vrindavan located in? Like which part of India?
Okay. You change your question. I was saying two. Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu?
She changed the question at the last she said in India. Okay. Otherwise I was saying two.
Yes, Vrindavan is in Uttar Pradesh, India. It's a beautiful place which is in UP, and it's that is the topmost part of the entire creation, because if you're visiting Vrindavan, if you ever visit Vrindavan, it's as good as you visiting the spiritual world, because Krishna himself was present doing his pastimes over there. So let's say if you have touched any object, if Krishna has touched any object, and if Krishna has himself descended to earth, and if he has lived in Vrindavana, it's as good as I'm feeling and touching Krishna himself. So, and in Vrindavana, Krishna was doing his pastimes, and also we have Yamuna there, and also we have a lovely Radha Kunda, Shyama Kunda, and the topmost Govardhana. And Govardhana is one of the favorite or the most favorite friend of Krishna, because Govardhana Hill is also one of the deities. So Govardhana is also one of Krishna's favorite friend, and he has seen all Krishna's pastimes, which is also in Vrindavana. Thank you. I hope that answers.
Sir,
Hare Krishna. Yeah, please ask.
I wanted to know what fruits that
What?
you said that his name, the person who speaks the first sloka. Forgot his name.
Dhritarashtra.
You said that Dhritarashtra, he was relating the family who ended the fruits, right? What are those fruits that he's enjoying? Like, what would
The
he
kingdom.
enjoy from
The
splitting
kingdom.
the
The
family?
kingdom. The kingdom. He wanted to enjoy the kingdom.
Okay, thank you.
His son was not the rightful owner of the kingdom, and he wanted to enjoy. Yeah. So I believe there's some internet issues. I believe at my end. Yeah. Abha Abhay.
So, Krishna is called Neelamegha Sham. So he is black in color because the clouds are black, filled with rain.
Yeah. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Krishna is also called, actually, Krishna is blue in color, and he's of all inclusiveness. And you will see that his vast and his perception, it trends from blue, whether it is ocean or sky, anything, you feel that he might be blue on the basis of the inclusiveness. But Neela Megha Shyama, if you see the blue skinned, that is, even though the clouds are not exactly so dark, it's bluish dark if you have seen it.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not completely black. Even the clouds are bluish dark.
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Harshit.
So, in books, I saw in one page that it said Vrindavan, and in one page that it said Brindavan. So the actual name of it is. Oh, okay. And is Vrindavan existing?
Yeah. So there are two Vrindavans. Mataji explained it. It is there in material world as well as there in spiritual world. In material world, it is in UP, Uttar Pradesh.
Can we even see it in the spiritual world?
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Well, actually, whenever Krishna descends, he's unborn, so he only descends from the spiritual world. He doesn't have to be born in any one of us, because he comes out of his own sweet will. He can come and go whenever he wants to. Everything else falls in place. So when he comes, he ensures his entire entourage, that is his entire all his friends and the places and where he lives, everything, a part or the portion of it descends to the earth. So when he descended, a portion of Vrindavana was also bought over here, which is so auspicious, and hence the way we have Vrindavana in the spiritual planet, it's a part of how it looks even in Vrindavana on earth. So that's why I was mentioning earlier from the questions that we are so fortunate that if whenever you visit India, you must visit Vrindavana, because it's the topmost holy place on the entire planet. So if you're visiting Vrindavan, it's as good as you're seeing Krishna. It's like you're touching and feeling the places where he has lived, and it's the most auspicious thing. And also it is great when you visit these places, because you will have a big spiritual hike in your own spiritual life. And I'm not saying this, it's coming from the scriptures. So it's actually given a nectar of instruction that we should visit Vrindavana, which has Radha Kunda. Radha Kunda is Mother Radharani's own kunda that she made, and also Shama Kunda. It's also when they were playing, when Radha and Shama were playing, they made this kunda. And also we have Govardhana Hill. Govardhana has seen so many pastimes of Krishna's dance party, I would say. They have seen so many, he has seen all the pastimes of Krishna, and hence it's the topmost places. So we do have, it's the same like how you have in spiritual world, it's also on earth as well. So you should visit this place.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are just taking one more question, and Mataji, Jyotsna Mataji, Kamla Mataji, and Mamta Mataji, please answer on the group. We have questions on the group as well. Yeah, Sai.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Krishna says that he'll come visit Radha anytime after he go to Madura, no Prabhuji. Will he come, Prabhuji?
Sorry, did you mean that once he leaves from Mathura, he can't see Radha? Is that your question?
No, Mataji, I'm asking that will he come visit Radha again?
Yes. See, this is the pastime of Krishna. In the spiritual world, we don't have something called as time. All the material, that is, we are all conditioned souls, and we are bound to be in the time factor. So Krishna himself is time, and he starts the time for us, and he is taken the form of a time. So for us, the clock keeps running for the conditioned souls. But when you go to the spiritual world, you can go back and forth. It's like when I'm saying Krishna, the name Krishna, or I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. What's your name?
Sai Raga.
Sai Raga. Sai Raga, when we call your name, what you do, and what you eat, and what pastimes you make, all of this are actually like they're all in one form. When we think of you, we have all of it coming together. So there is nothing called as is he going to come? Is Krishna going to come back and meet Radha? Actually, he's eternally with Radha. He's eternally with Radha and the gopis, and the most best of the pastimes are, and the best of topmost of the entire spiritual world is the love that gopis and Radha have for Krishna. So we have to follow him. There is a shloka called as Gopi Bhartu Bhartu. So we have to be following Krishna and following gopis to get the love of Krishna. And in the same way, to your question, yes, it's very important that we have to devote ourselves to gopis and everyone. And Radha and Krishna are always together. They can never be separated. They are inseparable. Thank you.
Radha and Krishna are
Okay,
inseparable.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Krishna, thank you.
Yeah, at a very good point. Radha and Krishna are inseparable. We are foolish enough if we think like Radha and Krishna are separate. We are foolish. So please have this understanding that they are inseparable, non-separable. So whoever questions is left, please ask in the group. We are running out of time. At 7:30 we have to start another session. Please excuse me for that. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's chant Vaishnav Pranam mantra. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant koti Vaishnavind ki jai. His divine grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His grace Namanishta Das Prabhu ki jai. Sabhi bhakton ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's connect tomorrow. And if you want to join Hindi, let's connect in just another maybe 1 or 2 seconds.